Hello everybody, welcome back. RailFanner4459 here, and today, in celebration of hitting over 120 subscribers, and honestly it's kind of a late celebration, I wanted to go over my entire collection, or at least most of it. You're at least getting 90% of what I own. There's still a couple locomotives which I kind of left out as they're in questionable condition for showcasing, and mostly they're just being projects, but let's get to it. So starting up, I want to talk about my switchers and my small locomotives. For starters, I think this is the smallest engine in my collection, which is this Athearn Hustler. This is a custom Devonshire and West Pacific lettered engine because that's the fictional railroad I developed. I didn't really know what to do with this engine. I got it for free. However, I had a spare Bachmann can motor, which I mounted inside of it. So it runs, but it needs a way to pick up power. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this engine, but it's kind of a unique piece. Next up is Locomotive, which it's in pretty bad condition, and honestly, it's probably going to get replaced soon. This is my Devonshire and West Pacific C16, or at least was a C16. Yeah, this thing is in really bad condition. The chassis just completely seized up on me, and currently right now, I'm on the hunt for a new C16. This was a lifelike model, however, I'm currently in the process of potentially upgrading this to be a Rivarossi C16. At least if I am going to make a Rivarossi one, it's going to be one with the good hood pistons and the best detail. For now, it's kind of just a shell, and I might just use this for static display. Next up is probably my most valued engine. This is Tyco Santa Fe 241. And the reason why it's super valued is because this was my uncle's model train when he was in model railroading. Back in the 70s, he got this as part of the Tyco Yardbird set, I believe, and it came with 3 cars. He liked it for a bit, however, when he got out of model trains, they remained abandoned in the basement. I eventually dug the whole set out and got the locomotive running again. It's not the greatest runner. It's pretty bad at slow speed, and it's missing the handrails and the horns, so I plan to acquire those parts in the future to get this thing restored. It does have a KD coupler on the back, though, so that's kind of unique. Next up, I think is like the only tender engine in the Swisher area. This is, or at least was, a Mahano Southern Pacific Daylight 040. This engine, I kind of just got it as a joke because, well, it is a joke. 4410 was a Southern Pacific GS2. They never had 040s that looked like this. In fact, this is a Pennsylvania prototype. I kind of just got it as a joke. And yeah, the chassis never works from the start, so I was considering about getting it a new chassis or potentially just getting it like a newer 040 chassis to put on it. For now, again, it's another static display. Next up is my NW2. This is a Santa Fe NW2, I believe, from Athearn Blue Box. I mainly just got this for $5 because the motor was completely seized on it, and yeah, it was basically dead from the start. It's kind of unique, but it definitely needs to be fixed, as yeah. Next up is a Concord MP15. This I kind of had plans for, then I kind of just forgot about them, but then I just kind of restarted. I was going to paint this in Caltrain colors, however the gray I got was way too dark, as it's supposed to be a lot more of a light silver. For now, it's kind of just looked like this, and I don't really know. I might still continue with the Caltrain project, although, yeah, it's definitely something that I kind of want to work on. Now we're done with all my switchers, let's get into my smaller steam locomotives. And already is easily one of my top 5 favorites. It's a fan favorite for me, and I just love it. This is my Devonshire and West Pacific 240 DYUN, specifically. This was developed for my fictional railroad as the railroad's engine number 1. This engine is kind of a hodgepodge of 2 Rivarossi 240s. The base is a Rivarossi, Belfast, and Moosehead 240. I mainly got it because it had this really nice silver smoke box and a brown cab, so I really just got it for those reasons. It's been custom painted, custom detailed, and given custom decals of my railroad. The chassis was from a Kansas City, St. Louis, Chicago 240. And yeah, this is the 240 that I got the chassis from. Let me get it in another shot here. Yeah, quite the difference. This engine, I really just got it for the chassis because it was in working condition. And now I don't really know what to do with it. I might give it away, I might sell it, but it could make for like a custom detail project of the real JW Boker. Next up, we have an interesting engine. This is a Mantua Western and Atlantic 440 General. I got this from Train Show for $5, missing the drive shaft. It doesn't have a tender shell at the moment because the tender might be relettered, and either way it had some paint damage on one side. So now it just kind of looks like this. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this engine. I was thinking about DCCing it. However, the tender is way too small. No room for a decoder. So, it's kind of just been sitting like this. Next up is easily an engine which I value a lot and has recently been getting some love. This is my Bachmann Jupiter. I recently painted the tender trucks on this to be blue, along with this little piece that holds the headlight on. It's one of the DCC Sound Equip versions. I got it from Train Shop, brand new. And really, it's just been waiting on new drivers because on this side, when I was trying to take one of the bolts out, it just completely eased and snapped in two. So it's kind of broken at the moment. There's a piece of hot glue on that side, which I put on there when it first happened. However, it was inevitable that I would have to buy Jupiter new drivers, so I ordered those from the Bachmann parts store, and they should be shipping in time for next Saturday's club operations. Next up is a really weird locomotive, and I'm not sure why I really got this or what I'm going to use it for. This is quite the hodgepodge. It is a 260 Bachmann chassis with a roundhouse 262 shell. I really just got this because I thought the chassis was pretty salvageable. So yeah, along with buying Jupiter's parts, I ordered an Alco 260 shell because I thought it would just look better, and this shell just looks way too large on this chassis. I don't know what I'm going to do with the tender, but it's kind of unique. Next up is another engine I bought from the same guy has the 260. This is a Mantua 460 custom painted as Back to the Future or Central Pacific Railroad number 131. I kind of just got this because I thought it would be unique, and yeah, I haven't really figured out what I'm going to do with this engine. I plan to get it a CAN motor upgrade kit and potentially put a new DCC decoder in it, as this was a DCC engine at that point. But I don't really know. It's kind of unique, kind of weird, but it's a unique piece nonetheless. I still am trying to get the CAN motor though. Don't worry, this will hopefully run again. Next up, we have another movie 460, except this one's in much worse condition. This is a work in progress Lone Ranger Constitution from the Lone Ranger movie. I always really liked the ending train chase scene, so I wanted to get a model of the Constitution from it. Sadly, this Riverosity 460 does not work. It was basically just dead the moment I got it. So for now, I might just put it as a static display with Jupiter potentially. I don't know. It's kind of unique, kind of weird. The last of my 460s is the only one from Britain, and it's actually one of my only European engines. This is a Hornby Albert Hall 460. I got this from a Train Show for $5 in non-working order, and yeah, it's kind of weird. The tender has a really early sound chip, as this little piece rubs against the metal, making a chuffing noise. The tender drawbar was broken, and the motor was completely seized. Don't know what I'm going to do with this engine, but it's kind of unique. Next up is another really work-in-progress engine. This is my work-in-progress model of Devonshire and West Pacific number 15. It's made using a Freight G280, however, the chassis is just completely bad in every way. It's not a great runner, and it was pretty bad. I might potentially get one of the more modern ones with a CAN motor to put the shell on and just make it overall better. It's a unique project and one I'll probably touch on later. Now that we're done with my small steam engines, let's move on to my smaller diesels. This section is mainly for 4-axle diesels only. First up is a really reliable locomotive, and it's probably my favorite engine in the collection, ironically. This is my Chessie System GP30 from Frodo 2000. It's a really neat looking locomotive, and it runs perfectly fine. I've had no problems with this thing. It's able to pull like a tank because of all of that weight in there, and I typically just put this with whatever, and it works just fine. It has a cheap Digitrax decoder thrown in, however, I might upgrade it to something like a Lock Pilot, or potentially Lock Sound in the future. I don't really know. It is a pretty bad weathering job, so I'm hoping to get that fixed up, but overall, it's just been a really solid engine to use. Next up is one of my only Amtrak pieces. This is a Bachmann Amtrak F40PH on a Athearn Blue Box dummy unit chassis. I really just got this thing because I thought it was unique. I picked it up, but the chassis was completely garbage, so it's currently on this chassis. I might actually make the chassis powered. I'm not sure. Still a unique engine, though, I gotta admit. My only other Amtrak locomotive. This is another weird one, and one I actually don't know what to do with. This is a Athearn Blue Box Amtrak P40, I believe, in Phase 2 paint. I kind of just decided to keep this like this right now. It's currently a dummy unit and needs a new motor, but for some reason, I saw his custom edit of a Caltrain P42, and I can't stop thinking about it, so potentially you might see this thing painted in Caltrain colors. Next up is a Great Northern GP7. I got this from a club member for free, although I don't really know what to do with this locomotive. It was free, but I didn't really even need it for anything. It's kind of just been sitting here doing nothing. And at one point, it had wheels. I don't even know where they are. Another F40PH, although this is a lifelike model. I got this one from a friend. And yeah, it's pretty trash. It's extremely trash. It doesn't work. It looks really bad, and yeah. I kind of just wanted a Caltrain F40, and this was the only one that my friend had. That was in at least decent condition. Very weird, and just... Next up is a Bachmann unit, which actually isn't completely garbage. This is a Bachmann Black Widow F7, letter for Southern Pacific. I got this from a friend in a trade, and yeah, it's been a solid worker in my collection, and typically whenever I do, I just put this with all my freight cars and just watch it pull them along. It's kind of unique, and I do have a B unit, although it is a Athearn Blue Box one. Still a pretty solid runner. Alright, now we're getting into my larger locomotives in the collection. This Chesapeake and Ohio locomotive, I forgot what class it is. I thought it was a VO1000, however, I don't even know. It's kind of unique. I think it's like a blue box design or a blue box duplicate. But again, I don't really know what locomotive this is. So if you could help me out, please leave a comment. It's weird, but yeah. Next up, we're getting to some of my larger locomotives, and I don't even know if I showed this off yet. This is my Bachmann Spectrum Pennsylvania Railroad K4. This is the 90s release with the split frame and nylon gears. I got this from a friend for $10 and put new gears in it and fixed up the drive. It runs really nicely, although it's very jittery at slow speeds. So, yeah, mostly I just have this pull whatever passenger cars I got. Pretty unique, and it's decently detailed. Next up is my only other British locomotive. This is a Hornby 9F painted in British Railways green. It's lettered as the Evening Star, which I believe was a locomotive specifically designed to be preserved. It's a unique engine. It was $10 and it was listed as non-working, however, it runs just fine. I've had no problems with this locomotive whatsoever. The only thing that really hinders it is it's a British locomotive, so it has the European couplers. Everything else in my collection has Cadies, so it's kind of that one oddball. Oh boy, here is easily another favorite. This is my Bachmann Blue Box Southern Pacific 4459, and I can't even get this thing completely in shot. Here we go. This engine was my first ever model train that I got. It has DCC on board with a lock sound decoder installed. However, yeah, this engine had a hissy fit yesterday, and I don't really know what to do with this at the moment. I'm probably going to put ESU lock sound in it, so it's just going to wait on a new lock sound decoder. Okay, now, this is an engine I'm desperately trying to get rid of. So, yeah, this is a Tyco SD24. This is lettered as a Union Pacific prototype. However, I don't even know why I got this. It's super weird. And, yeah, it's pretty bad looking. Painted in completely black. I can't even describe why I got this. I thought painting it black would be interesting and like lettering it, but I guess not. It's super trash, and I don't even know what to do with this guy. I was trying to sell it on my eBay store, but no one wants to buy it. So if you want to own it, contact the San Carlos Train Shop. Next up is easily a favorite of mine. And, oh, the tender rolled away. This is my Bachmann 4449, mine which originally had a DCC sound decoder. It's currently waiting on an ESU lock sound decoder at the moment. But, yeah, it's kind of just in this state where I want to get brass details for it. Although recently, my local train shop stocked an MTH GS4 for a very cheap price. So, potentially this engine might be getting replaced by that. I don't know, but I intend to keep this engine as long as I can. And lastly, I think is the largest locomotive in my collection, or at least I think. This is my Bachmann Spectrum Nickel Plate Road 2662 number 941. This engine I got from a train show for $125, which I thought was immediately a steal. And yeah, this originally had the locked decoder that 59 has. Although right now, I am currently waiting on getting a new decoder. A lot of club members have been recommending Tsunami Sound. However, I don't really know. It's a unique engine, and it has been giving me problems recently. The gearing is not great on it, but I'm hoping to get this engine and back up and running. Right now, it's just wired for DC. It's wired for DC power with a dummy plug. And that has been basically all of my locomotives in the collection. And there's still a couple engines I left out specifically as they were just too far in on projects. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and thank you a lot for 120 subscribers.